So one of the things I really need to do is get myself a little bit more organized about my garden, because I am a person who naturally struggles with being organized anyway, but also I really gotten into gardening this past year, and I've learned a lot. And one of the things that I learned is that there are many rules that are not necessarily true of where I live. The region that I live in has a very long grow season, and it stays very hot and subtropical or tropical most of the year. My planting zone is a little inconsistent as far as like we're either getting tons and tons and tons of rain or none at all. And so I've learned that just because a planting calendar says, don't plant this crop, plant this one instead. I found that where I live, the rules are a little bit less rigid, but it also means that there are some plants that just don't do well here, or there's versions of them that don't do well, while there are other more heat and humidity tolerant plants. So I want to go through the seeds that I have and try to organize, because I'm coming up on a planting season for fall. Try to organize what I have to see what I can put in the ground next. One of the things I'm very, very good at is the nursery stage. I'm great at starting plants and getting them to be ready to go out. But then I find that once I move out of my greenhouse, even if I harden them off slowly, they can sometimes have trouble adjusting to the conditions here. And some of that has to do with how hot it can be and how long it stays hot. And so cold weather crops tend to not do well here at all unless they're kept indoors. So most varieties of lettuce, kohlrabi, things like that, you have to either grow them inside or you have to be way more involved with your plants that I can be. It's just a matter of time. So one of the things I want to do is just go through what I have and review kind of the year and figure out, okay, what plants did really, really well this year and I want to plant more of, and what are some plants that really didn't do very well at all and probably wouldn't be worth trying to plant again, or it might be worth trying in a different season. The other thing that I take into consideration, a couple things. One is that I have a large family, and with that comes a variety in what people like to eat, and so there are some plants that I just know flat out no one would eat, so it wouldn't be worth planting. For example, eggplant. Nobody in the house likes eggplant except me. And then the other thing is I have many animals here. So we have a farm. There's livestock and horses and cats and dogs and things like that here. So I want to be really mindful of what is safe for them, because although you can try very hard to keep livestock out of areas that they're not supposed to be in, anybody who's ever had livestock on their property can tell you that there's always a Houdini in the group. There's always the one who's just a little bit of a troublemaker, and no matter how hard you try, there will always be some critter that can get themselves into your garden. For example, yesterday I had to rescue my Meyer lemon sapling from a donkey that had ripped it straight out of the ground. She didn't even eat it, she just pulled it straight out, and I was like, well, that was just rude. So, okay. So I wanted to start with what I know I have, seeds that I have. So late August or early October, I have arugula. I don't remember if I have kale or not, maybe. Mustard, lettuce, yes. Lemon sorrel, no. Tropical Malabar spinach has done great for me this year. Okay, fruits and vegetables. I have broccoli for sure. I had sweet corn and it got, the seeds got damaged, so I'm gonna have to buy more of that. Sugar cane, fennel, green onions, garlic, seasoned tomato, tomatillo, pepper, melons. I have winter and summer squash. I definitely have pepper, melon, winter and summer squash, Jamaican sorrel, cranberry, hibiscus, lima bean, okra. I have a seed variety of okra that has done extremely well this year. Getting like these huge pieces of okra off of it too, and the most beautiful okra flowers. If you've never seen an okra flower, it looks a little bit like a yellow hibiscus with kind of a purpley red center. It's absolutely beautiful. Bush and pole beans I have. Cowpea, long noodle beans, southern peas, squash. I don't know, there's all these different versions of squash that I've never heard of. Cauliflower, sugarcane. I could plant cucumbers, but nobody in the house likes them. Carrots. I might have carrot. I'm not sure. Rutabaga, new potato, Irish potato. I already have sweet potatoes going right now. Peanut, jicama, turmeric, ginger, turnip, beet, and radish. I know I have radishes. Anise, basil. I have a bunch of basil growing out front already. Calendula, catnip, chamomile. I have caraway, chive, cilantro, comfrey, dill, echinacea, lavender. You know, I've tried planting lavender. There's only one variety of lavender that does okay here, and it's not true lavender. Lavender likes very dry, hot climates, like desert conditions. Lemon balm I have. Lemongrass I have. I would love to get that going. I don't have mugwort, but I would love to get some. Parsley, sage. I might have sage, maybe. Tarragon, toothache plant, thyme, and yarrow. I have marigolds, or I had them. I might have actually used the rest of them up. Nasturtium is wonderful. It grows in many, many varieties. Did you know? So nasturtium is completely edible, the flower and the sunflowers, yes, and the leaves, and it's kind of a peppery flavor. I wouldn't eat like a ton of it, but it's really good in salad. Okay. Let's see what I have. This isn't on there anywhere. Garden huckleberry. I came across this while I was at the local feed store, and they had envelopes of it. And I love real huckleberry that you can get, you know, like in Wyoming, Montana, Alaska. but I was always told that you can't really farm it because it doesn't like to be farmed, basically. So when I saw this, I went, huh, I'll give it a try. And that's how I've learned a lot of the stuff that I know about gardening, is just stick it in the ground and see what happens. Don't worry so much about the rules, just have fun with it. You can worry about the rules later. I think in the beginning it's more important to just mess around and see what you enjoy, what does well for you, what doesn't. So I got another pack of this. I actually have one open somewhere. But I definitely want to plant more of this. I have a plant out front that's just getting its first berry on there. Now these are toxic if eaten green. The berries are good if you do like a syrup or something like that. You don't want to eat them raw, you want to cook them, but these are really interesting. Okay, so sunflower was on the list. Rosemary was not on the list, but definitely one of my absolute favorites in the garden. I also have one of my own, I have my own bakery. And so one of the things that I do with the bakery is I make like fresh focaccia and things like that. And I use my rosemary to bake into my focaccia. Hot pepper, definitely one. Look at the beautiful colors on that. Isn't that pretty? I bet that's gonna be really pretty. So we'll put that in this pile. This wasn't listed on here. This is Seminole pumpkin. And Seminole pumpkin does pretty well in hot, humid climates. And it can be planted this time of year. You have to kind of see how it does. Now you won't have a pumpkin harvest by like Halloween from it, but you would get one by like November, December. So another thing that wasn't on this list is zinnia. Zinnia will grow pretty much year round where I live. Like, it's very easy to grow. You could basically just sneeze and scatter the seeds and it'll grow. And it comes in all these different varieties of colors. It's a beautiful cut flower as well. And actually these are some from my garden that I cut last week. And now that they're dry, I think we might be ready to get some seeds off of it. So you just go to the middle like that. Oh, this one isn't ready to give up the seeds yet. Okay, let's try this one. Not yet. I was able to get some off of one yesterday. This one's ready. So you see how they just pull out of the middle like that? Every single one of those is a seed. And I have seed. So before I get into what else I have, and I like to grow from the ones that I have here already because I know that they do well on the property. So let's write these are zinnia. These are just a garden mix. And I'll write the year that they did well. Growing notes. Plant. 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch deep. Water well. For first week. You still want to water them, but you don't want to like keep their feet too wet after the first week or so. So let's put these out here. This particular variety of zinnia, and there are many of them, this one produces hot pink, light pink, and red flowers. And I have some that I just planted that I haven't seen sprout up yet. But I have some that I just planted that are like a dwarf variety. And then there are even some that I've seen that are like lime green. That's not really my jam. I love bright colors. I love happy colors. And the other thing that I've learned this year is to put flowers with my vegetables because you want pollinators coming to your vegetables. Many times, if your plants don't produce a vegetable or a fruit, it's because they might have needed to be pollinated and they weren't in the time that they needed to be pollinated. And so I will plant things to try to attract pollinators to that plant. Even like my pepper plant, there was a wasp hanging around my pepper plant. And I was talking to my friend who is a wealth of information about gardening. I know a little bit. This person is like a walking gardening encyclopedia. And they were like, oh my God, wasps are great. You know, they're a great pollinator, but they also will eat certain or kill certain types of garden pests. So just because there's a wasp there doesn't mean it's a bad thing. But I've been seeing lots of butterflies and things come to my zinnias as well. And the zinnias are actually sitting right by some of them. The ones that bloomed are sitting right by some of my vegetable plants that are doing very well. I have some peppers and things like that that are starting to take off. So the plastic seemed like a good idea at the time, but I'm realizing now that it might not have been. So let me see. I'm looking about these though. Those don't fit. No way, Jose. So, it's gonna have to be the other ones. Alright. So. So when I use my seed packets, if there's still seeds left open, I put them in the fridge. The tomatoes are maybe, might be worth trying. So let's do my yes pile and my not right now pile. Strawberry, probably not. I could try lavender again. I'm not, I haven't had much luck with lavender. I want to grow here. Well, that's empty anyway. see, I love squash. Everybody in the house loves squash, so we can definitely plant some more squash. Radish, yes. This okra did amazing. This is from Burpee, the Baby Bubba hybrid. This okra plant, I'll see if I can get, there's one that's on there right now that they're just ridiculously big. The only thing is that I haven't gotten many okra off of it yet, but the ones that are starting to show up are awesome. And you can also eat okra leaves. They're really good. I like to put them in a pan with a little bit of oil and garlic and cook them up, and I make them with my cinnamon hibiscus, basil, some of my sweet peppers, and I'm trying to think of what else I have out there. A squash, when I get a squash, and I'll saute it, and I'll have a lunch that way. Sweet pepper does extremely well. I haven't had any luck starting with seed though. I have to admit that any of my bell peppers here are ones that I bought already started. Because I don't know, they just didn't take off. Now I do have a few of them in the ground that are little teeny tiny babies still that are from this snacking pepper that we get at the store that my husband and kids absolutely love, especially if I roast them. So I stuck a few seeds in some starter pots and just went to see what happened, and they sprouted. So we will see what happens. So I'll definitely plant it again, but it's too hot right now. Sage. I wanted to plant some sage and I never got around to it last year. Another pack of arugula. Tons of basil. Winter squash, yes. Lettuce, not right now. Oh, I guess I could try lettuce again. Spinach. Only if it's a tropical spinach. I've had this sprout and then it starts to make it and then it just really, really struggles. Or garden huckleberry. I might put another couple seeds in the ground. Broccoli, yes. Did we have Brussels sprouts on the list? I don't think we did. These are more like cold. see very well these days. I think I might need glasses. Okay. So I have all these different types of peppers. Next I have had a problem with squash bugs that I just could not get out of. They were like super bugs. I couldn't get rid of them. And unfortunately, I lost both of them to that. But I also think that they were very heat stressed because I think maybe when I planted them like the wrong time of year. So like I was saying, sometimes you learn by doing. Oh, these are both winter squash. So this one is the vegetable spaghetti. But I love the name of this one. Are you ready? It's the Asala pasta hybrid. I actually love to eat squash instead of pasta. Like I'll do spaghetti squash in the microwave and I'll eat it as if it's pasta. It's so good. I'd say that card is full. Let's see, just push them both. Okay, so where's my okra? Oh, and I want to put my pumpkin in there. And then my huckleberry. Where should that go? Just stick them in there together, maybe. I know it's not alphabetical order, but that's okay. I will figure it out. I will know why it's there together. So here's my garden huckleberry and Seminole pumpkin. This one's still closed up. I had a different garden or Seminole pumpkin seed set that I just planted. And they're doing pretty well. They're about, I don't know, maybe 10 to 12 inches high right now. Or long, I guess I should say, because pumpkin doesn't always grow up, it grows out. Okay. And then let's do okra. Tomato next. Still seed, okay, because there's seeds. Are there seeds in there? It's the steak sandwich hybrid. Okay. We're down to our last few here. So let's do the okra. So we're gonna need, you know what? I don't think those beans are gonna fit in one of these little envelopes. I think they're gonna have to stay where they are. Alright. So let's do okra. This one has a fun name too. Baby Bubba.